Sandberg is our local county commissioner, Don Saling is our city manager, and Barbara Baker from NJC. So what we're going to do this morning is give each one of them a little bit of time to talk about what's happening in their area, and then we'll kind of open it up for questions. So it doesn't matter which one starts, I'll let them decide and enjoy and learn all kinds of things.
Volunteers?
I'm not the youngest anymore.
I'll take that role.
Oh, I'm sorry, Don.
Don's still leading, so, I'm with Economic Development. I've been in the job for a little over 4 months now, so, still getting into the swing of things and still have a lot to learn and get caught up on. We've got a lot going on in economic development in the community right now. A full plate of projects, and right now we've got about 44 different projects and groups that we're actively involved with at economic development. 25 of those represent active new business prospects that are in various stages and phases of doing due diligence and site selection work. Some of those are getting closer and closer to coming together. So pretty exciting time right now. Of those 25 projects, they represent, and these are estimated numbers, but around 405 jobs, $44,000 a year average salary, and around 1.6 billion of investment into the community. And again, that's spread out across many different projects, and some that can come through and some that might not, but those are the estimates that we have today based on what we know. The breakdown on those, we've got 4 projects in the hotel and lodging sector, 3 projects in the restaurant sector, 2 projects in downtown revitalization, 3 in housing, 2 in industrial and manufacturing, 1 in the renewables sector, 4 in agribusiness, 1 in oil and gas, a couple infrastructure projects, 5 in retail and service, 1 in land development, and 10 that are just local ongoing projects and committees that we're actively involved with. So it's a brief snapshot of what's going on with the economic development right now. So that'll let.
Okay. I do sit on the Economic Development Board, and we're impressed that Trey's with us, and he's out there and very aggressive and doing things, and so I applaud him on that, because I'm not an economic development guy, and it's nice to have someone that really is in the know. I guess I didn't mean to say that, but in the know in economic development. So I guess I'll just report on a few things that I've been involved with. As of 5:15 last night, Isla does have water. So that's a good thing. It's a temporary fix. I just guess I was involved, but Concrete Specialties had to go down in there by the river and berm all that up and, get down in there and fix that. They couldn't fix the main break, but they did get a temporary line running over the bridge and across going into town. So that'll be out there by, who knows, 2, 3, 4 months. They have to wait until the river goes down so that then they can go back under and those things. But they're up and running again temporarily, but that's a very good thing. So that's the straight and narrow. I went to the meeting last night, and it was very, the tone was great. It was a great meeting to go to because they had to turn the water on. So secondly, we do work on the county roads continually. With the heavy rains and the flooding and all that. It's quite different than 2013. Well, maybe not quite different. I mean, water is water, but different areas of the county. I mean, not so much of the river doing the main damage, but when we have those hard rains, we had the damage that was north and west of town, and the county roads out west by Willard, that they had 12 foot. They were cut out 12 feet probably. I went out there, and it was pretty amazing. And then, of course, we got started fixing County Road 18 and 16 out there by Willard, and then we just about had it put together, and then it hit us again, and so it took it out. So we had to start over. County Road 41 up there by Greg Cugarola's place was just about the same. And so that now is, we got Willard put back together and we're out there, and so we're getting close to having those things put back together. Our folks are on 4-day a week, work week. So we were on 4-10s. When this all happened, they went to 6-11s. And so I applaud them for doing that. They're just the kind of folks that we have in Logan County, that we had a big project to get done, so they did that and stayed on the job till they had everything open, not completely fixed, but then they did that for 3 weeks, and then they had everything where we could at least pass on the roads. So I applaud them on that too. The gun range, I don't know if you're interested in that, but we have hired a consultant to put that together, and actually the city of Sterling and Logan County is working together to try to get another piece of ground that would seal all that land up, and if we can do that, then the old city dump and then the other piece of ground from the state land board and the ground that we bought will be one nice facility when we get it put together. So we're excited about that, because we feel as commissioners, that's why we entered into that, buying that land and trying to develop it. Feel that is an economic development project probably in itself, because we've been told by these folks that are gun enthusiasts that they go all over and they spend a lot of money. They stay the weekend and they shoot and they have tournaments, and so we feel that'll really be a benefit to the county. So that's progressing. Last thing I guess I'd like to say is you probably looked at your valuation notices on your homes, and that wasn't good news. Mine was up 12%. However, if it makes you feel any better, and I'm sure it won't, some of the farmer folks that have the very high productive irrigated farm ground, it was up a lot more than that. So we're balancing that and trying to see, overall the county was up about 9%, but some of those parcels of ground, those highly productive agricultural parcels were up over 100%. And that's because it's a 10-year rolling average, and it's income driven. The appraisal process is income driven because corn and hay were at an all-time high. The problem we see, now we're in hay and corn prices that are not that high. And so the big job we had at the county was explaining, number one, that it's a state-driven formula. So, they want to blame the assessor's office. I did too when I got mine. I thought, what the heck? It's a state-driven formula that then they keep 10 years average in there. They drop off the oldest 2 years, put on the 2 new years. So we dropped off 02 and 03, I believe, or 03 and 04, and put on 13 and 14. Well, that was substantially different. And so now, then the next time we do it, you evaluate every 2 years because of the prices being down, and that'll start to go down. The residential property then is valued as to sales and those kinds of things. And so Sterling is, not only Sterling, but it's hot. There's not many properties, and Trey found a house easily. Yeah. It's just there isn't property there, and it brings a premium, and so that's what drives those values up, of course. So if you haven't chosen to appeal your taxes, too bad. June 1st was the date. So, yeah. But anyway, that process is always open to citizens. If you feel we've had done a wrong job, then you always have that right to come talk to us. So I guess that's all I have.
That's it. You guys came here. I was an impression, because I'm in the know, that I just had to answer questions. But for those that don't know me, my name is Don Salem. I have the pleasure of being the city manager. I've been here for almost 11. I'll be starting my 11th month next week. And my wife's family is from Amherst, directly east of here. So we have some family ties. Her dad's 95, will be 95 in August. Her mom's 87, 88. So it's great to be there, but it's great also to be in this position. And I have to brag as the county commissioner here, we've got the best employees around. They're very committed. Change a little mindset, try to, impress on the employees that we're here to provide the service, and we'll provide that to the best level that we can, and you deserve an answer. If we can do it, we'll do it. If we can't, we'll tell you we can't and why we can't, instead of, don't call them back, just leave it, it'll die. There are exciting things happening in Sterling. Trey mentioned some hotel projects. For those that don't know, the Hampton Inn plans on building a New Hampton Inn right by the Bank of Colorado, and Health Center and Nick's. They will actually start moving dirt for parking lots and that this year, with actual construction starting in spring to summer of 2016, with completion in in 2017. So that project's going forward. Where the old gas station is, where the Overland Trail recreation area is and the fishing pond, that was purchased by Holiday Inn Suites. They actually hope to break ground, though I'm not sure if they'll be able to in August. But they have, as of yesterday, exercised their option to purchase some land from the city to accommodate their storm drainage and parking for the hotel. We're waiting for the plans to come in, but you could actually see construction activities going on there probably within the next 60 days. And then the third project, which also includes the hotel, is the Cobblestone Hotel and their group. And we're finalizing, I think, the final details for that project. And that'll be at Highway 6 and I-76. The project was known as Buffalo Hills. And so it's directly to the north of the Riata gas station there. So we're trying to get those details and take that in front of City Council. But that'll be a new Cobblestone Hotel, as well as 2 other businesses they're still negotiating with. So that's kind of exciting. New jobs, new property taxes, new sales tax. If you read the newspaper, that did an exceptional coverage, which they always do. If anybody here is from the press. This past Tuesday, City Council passed on final reading a ballot title for recreational marijuana. Okay, that's a citizen initiative, citizen-driven, where they were required to get the equivalent of 5% of the vote for the last election for the governor, which came down to like 175 votes in the city of Sterling. They were able to obtain those, so they are basically asking the residents to repeal the ordinance that City Council passed that prohibited the sale of retail marijuana, cultivation, manufacturing, so those people that make the edible marijuana products and that. City Council had to vote to put the language of the title, the ballot title, on for November 3rd election. So if people question if council's for it or against it, that wasn't the decision Tuesday night. That decision was the title of the ballot, so they really had no choice. Related to that, we had a discussion with City Council regarding the taxation of that marijuana, an additional tax. There are direct and indirect expenses that we as a city will incur should this retail marijuana ballot issue pass in the city. We don't know if it will or not. We can't officially take a stance, but I can tell you that Logan County is more liberal than we are in the city, and that Logan County, if I recall, approved Amendment 64, 51 to 49, whereas the citizens of Sterling are a little bit more conservative, voted 51-49 against it.
Actually, you're incorrect, sir.
What?
But thanks for trying.
You voted 51-49.
I'm not in favor. 3 precincts in city actually passed it.
But the whole city itself did.
Correct.
Anyhow.
We do get along, though.
It's a great working relationship with them. But, so we're gonna ask the residents of the city of Sterling to impose an additional 5 cents or 5% of the sales tax on retail marijuana, up to 10% without coming back to the vote of the people. And that's because of TABOR, Taxpayers' Bill of Rights. And a 15% excise tax on those places that cultivate, that grow the marijuana or make the product as far as the first time okay? So if they cultivated it at a warehouse and warehouse B sold it to a company C, they would be paying a 15% on top of that. So if it was to pass in the city of Sterling, the authorization to sell retail marijuana, not only will you pay the current 7% that you pay, which is the state, Logan County, and the city of Sterling for all sales tax, you would pay an additional 10% on the state sales tax for marijuana, and then somewhere between 5 and up to 10% on the the city sales tax. And the intent is that it's not to make money for the city. The intent is we are anticipate a significant increase in demand for services for law enforcement, for the fire department to make inspections, the building department to go out and make sure that a lot of places you're not allowed to smoke outside of your residence, and when you keep it inside the residence, if you have a grow house, it has to be locked up and secured, and you have to have ventilation systems so that the smell of marijuana doesn't go outside the building. So you have building department inspection issues, educational issues through the courts, possibly additional manpower in the courts, plus because it's a federal offense to have marijuana, they're not allowed to write checks. So everything has to be on a cash basis. All of a sudden, we have the potential for a lot of cash coming in. I have projected through this complex formula that I can't explain your additional revenue based on that. And so that's a part of the validation, because CABR requires that we have the amount of revenue for that first year, the first full year. And it's kind of like the state, whereas they underestimated what the sales tax revenue would be, so they now have to come back to the residents of the state of Colorado and say, we've got an extra $40,000 in revenue, $40 million in revenue. Can we keep it and use it for this, or we need to just give it back to you? So that's where our $600,000 calculation, only for the first year. So that ballot should be in front of you in November. The crews are out patching streets right now, Monday night, Tuesday mornings, Thursday night, Friday morning. They are spraying for mosquitoes. So if you want to come outside, do it early on Tuesday morning or Friday morning. Other than that, I don't know if it does you any good. It doesn't in my house, I can tell you.
Either that, or you just want to go out while they're spraying and take care of yourself.
That's right. 4th of July, Independence Day is coming up next Saturday, a week from this Saturday. Overland Trail Museum is having a great heritage festival. They have the Buffalo Soldiers coming, which will do the colors and some horse demonstration. But from 10 to 4, great things going at the museum. I've never been there, but they tell me it's fantastic. I will be there. And then from 7 to 9, we have at Pioneer Park is an old classic rock band, which we can all relate to. I think my parents told me about it. The Bittersweet Band, so they'll be playing from 7 to 9 o'clock, and then we'll have the fireworks. And when the fireworks are over, they'll play one more set. So our fire department and Parks and Rec will be doing the beautiful, I'm not sure how to describe it, explosive fireworks displays. And I don't know if you can see it from anywhere in Sterling, but if you want to have fun and put up with traffic, go for the Pioneer Park. And with that, I'm going to quit. Who's our fourth speaker? Tell us about NJC.
Boy, I should have volunteered to go first. You guys are a hard act to follow. And kind of like you, Don, I wasn't sure when I didn't see anybody else showing up, and I thought, well, maybe I'm the only